I started having seizures. I was 14. The ER doctor looked at me and was like, well, she's pretending. Yeah, they just let me seize. They didn't do anything.
Wait, they just let you seize?
I was diagnosed with PANDAS and PANDAS. It feels like I got hacked. I couldn't get out of my body. None of that was me.
Welcome to the Rock Bottom Podcast, presented by Jigsaw Health, where we share health horror stories that inspire. Today's guest is Emma Horn. At age 14, she began to develop uncontrollable seizures and neurological issues. Her blood work looked fine. Her doctors couldn't find anything on the scans. No one had an answer. Until finally, through resilience and perseverance, her mother was able to find a treatment that changed everything.
Now, before we dive in, just a quick note. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice. Please always consult with a healthcare professional before making any changes to your health routine. Quick technical note, this was actually our first episode of the Rock Bottom Podcast where we recorded remotely with the guest. Emma lives in Arkansas, and I think everything went well with the technology, but if there's a few glitches in there, please forgive us. It's a great episode.
This is the Rock Bottom Podcast. Emma Horn, welcome to the Rock Bottom Podcast. We're so excited to have you here today and to listen to your incredible story. I know this might even be hard for you to jump back in time to the moment where you feel like you were at your rock bottom, but the best you can, take us back there to that moment, and then we can talk about what led you to that point.
Okay, so my rock bottom was probably in January 2019. I started having seizures over and over.
And how old were you?
I was 14.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you were when you had your very first seizure?
Yes. So I was in the car. I was walking out of a building, and my mom was waiting for me. And all of a sudden, things went blank. And it was just kind of scary. Honestly, kind of scary for me.
I'm sure it was terrifying and so scary for your mom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My seizure date that happened was actually on the 22nd, I believe, of 2019. So it just came.
Did you have any symptoms or any odd symptoms leading up to that moment? Or do you remember feeling funky that morning?
So I, months prior, I got a migraine, and symptoms began from there, where I started having my feet turn in, my hands were jerky around, my voice went to a robot, basically. It was just really weird things that no one could explain, and everyone was like, this is a psych issue, which it was not. And so that kind of led up to that moment of getting in the car and starting to have seizures, and so it just progressively worsened.
So the first day that you had the seizure, I'm sure your mom's freaking out. She probably took you directly to urgent care. Is that?
Yeah. So at the time we lived 30 minutes away from the children's hospital, and that the only hospital here in my state would send all the pediatric kids to children's. So my mom had drive me from 30 minutes to children's hospital. And there they would bring me straight back, and the ER nurse would look at me and say, or the ER doctor looked at me and was like, well, she's pretending. We're not gonna do anything.
That was their first reaction?
Yeah. They eventually said that it was a psych issue, but they first said if Benadryl doesn't help, then it's a real problem. And it didn't help me. And then they sent me, they still said it was psych.
So they gave you Benadryl when you got to the urgent care?
Yeah.
Do you recall why they thought Benadryl might help?
No. And I found out later that Benadryl can worsen seizures sometimes. So, yeah.
Well, that seems like a miss. They gave you
It was.
Benadryl for a seizure when sometimes it can worsen a seizure. So I'm sure when you got sent home that day, you and your mom were feeling very confused and scared.
Well, actually, my mom fought for me to stay inpatient.
Okay.
And so they let me be inpatient, and then they kicked me out the next day.
Did they run tests while you were there?
No test.
They just kind of observed and let you rest, and they didn't do anything?
Yeah, they just let me seize. They didn't do anything.
Wait, they just let you seize? Did you have more seizures while you were in their custody?
Yeah, I just would have seizure after seizure. And then even in my sleep, I would seize.
This seems like
negligence?
Yeah. What was their reasoning? They were like, well, she's not dying from the seizures. So did they think, okay, well, we're going to give you some? Did they think it was like epilepsy or what?
I don't really know what they were thinking. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt of maybe they just, I don't know. I just want to think they didn't know what they were doing and they didn't want that as a liability or something. I don't know at all. I wasn't really there.
Yeah.
Mentally. I have my mom wrote down basically everything that we went through. So that's something that's really helped me to understand during those moments.
When you were seizing, how often were you having a seizure? Was it once an hour?
It was, I think I had a minute or so break in between. So minute or 5 minute break in between seizures or less.
So you were almost seizing constantly.
Yeah, almost constantly.
And they had no medication they could give you that would help. So they just let you do that for how long did they go on for?
They went on, when they kicked me out the next day, it was still happening. My grandma and my mom had to surround me in pillows in the car so I wouldn't knock myself out. Because they weren't they were thrashing.
Yeah.
Episodes.
It seems unconscionable that they would have kicked you out of the hospital. Did they give any sort of rational excuse? Even, sorry, you don't have insurance, we can't treat you. I don't know. I'm trying to, like you said, give them the benefit of the doubt. But it seems unconscionable that they would have let a 14-year-old girl who is seizing near constantly, thrashing, no, get out of there. You would think a hospital is exactly where
you need to be
for them to sort of diagnose. I mean, that to me seems like the definition of an acute issue.
Yeah, they did say Tourette's.
Okay.
And then they just no tests. They didn't do anything. They just didn't. One doctor did though. She was like, "We're going to find out." And then she came back and was like, "No, sorry. She has Tourette's. Get out."
Wow.
So that was also kind of a rock bottom moment. And so my mom and my grandma surrounded me in pillows. And we went to my PCP first, I think, that day. And they told us to head to Memphis, Tennessee, to their children's hospital 3 hours away.
Yeah.
So in the car, seizing with pillows, 3 hours away. My mom thought I was going to die.
Yeah, I'm sure she did.
So I was almost catatonic by the time we got there.
Yeah, what happened when you got to Memphis?
So when we got to that ER, I can kind of remember like a couple people running out and putting me on like a gurney or whatever and bringing me into a room, and they did smelling salts and they stuck that in my nose, and that made them stop. And then they put me inpatient, and they ran all these tests. So like CT, blood work. What else? They did a spinal tap. Worst thing ever, by the way. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. Like, if you don't have to do it, don't do it.
Yes, that's what I've heard.
And then they did an MRI, and they did an ultrasound as well. And all that came back negative. I think they found like an ovarian cyst or whatever, and that could have caused issues, but they didn't like look at that, I guess, or they kind of ignored it. And by that time, like my seizures started to calm down a little bit, and so they sent me home with no answers. Thankfully, I have grandparents that live up there in Memphis, so we stayed with them because my mom, I'm not getting back in the car with her. Like, I'm not driving back home 3 hours with her seizing. Like, she couldn't. And so we stayed with my grandparents for a month or so, I believe.
So the salts that they gave you, the smelling salts, which helped calm the seizures when you got there, did they send you home with those in case you were to need them?
No.
So they didn't give you any kind of remedy. They just said, all your scans look normal. Don't know what's going on here, but go home and get some rest.
Yeah. They did like say to go to like their neurologist or whatever. And so it was like 3 minutes, or not 3 minutes, but we'll send you to our neurologist here. And, you know, you just got to be patient. And in those, while waiting to see that neurologist they had outpatient, I went to the ER multiple times because my face would droop. I would lose vision in my eye, like just weird things.
Yeah.
And then each time they would just send me home like, I'm sorry, nothing. Your tests are normal, nothing. When the time came for the neurologist, she looked at my mom, or not my mom, she looked at me and said, I'm sorry for whatever caused you to act this way.
What did she mean by that?
Like basically accusing you of pretending.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I wasn't there. I wasn't like, I was gone.
Like mentally,
like,
you were checked out.
Yeah, like I was catatonic.
I'm not even sure an actor like Leonardo DiCaprio could fake it that well for that long. So to accuse someone of faking it, of basically being an actor or an actress, seems very disingenuous. And it's, were you trying to get out of a quiz? Was there a big math test at school?
The funny part is you said math test. My migraine started in math class.
Well, I can't blame you for that.
Math is stressful. Hello.
Math is so bad. I hate it so much. Especially, we have beef now since that day. But
So let's blame the math,
Yeah.
Math
Yeah.
is terrible. Everybody knows that.
that's our little joke
That's funny.
at our house.
So then you were in Memphis for about 6 weeks, you said.
Mhm.
What was your day-to-day like for you and your mom and your grandma, your family during that time?
So basically, I would wake up and like, I don't really know how to like answer your question because I was just I reverted back to whenever I was 6 or younger, and then all of a sudden I'd come back to acting like 13. I was never a 14-year-old. My mom had to bathe me because I couldn't do that. Like any little hygiene stuff, except like using the bathroom. Thankfully, my mom was super happy
Yes.
that she didn't have to help her 14 with that. But any hygiene thing, like she had to help me with, I couldn't use utensils anymore because I didn't know how. And that progressed, like that continued to happen even after mom felt comfortable taking me home. Like since they gave me the smelling salts, my seizures decreased a little bit where we felt comfortable driving in the car.
So after
back
being at
to
your
my-
grandparents for like about a month, you said you went home then. And you just kind of continued to decline and have these crazy, like, what has happened, like neurological, unexplainable. And okay, so what was the next step you took in terms of trying to find out what was really going on?
So mom, the whole entire time we were in Memphis together, and when we got back to my other grandparents' house, my stepdad at the time kicked us out. He could not handle it, which I completely understand. Like, no hate towards him. I couldn't handle me either. But so our next step was like mom did all this research. She found a doctor in Houston that was supposed to be really good. And then she also found out about a legislation law being passed here in Arkansas for PANS and PANDAS, which is pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric disorder associated with strep. And PANS is the
Associated
same
with
thing.
strep?
Yeah.
Throat.
Yes.
Strep throat.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. And all cases of PANS and PANDAS are associated with strep throat?
No. So only PANDAS is associated with strep. PANS is anything but strep. So like COVID could cause it. Staph infection could cause it. Like anything else but strep.
Okay.
I think that's dumb that they didn't just call. They're both the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just blend it together.
Can you
But she
spell it out
found
one
out-
more time, what it stands for again?
Pediatric, autoimmune, neuropsychiatric disorder associated with strep.
Yeah.
Did you have strep?
Yeah, just never the symptoms. And I had staph infection, but never the symptom.
When did you have those two things?
We believe my migraine was strep and staph.
Okay. So you had no symptoms, no way to know that you had strep or staph. You get this migraine. So how did they finally uncover that that was essentially the cause of it?
So, mom at the registration, like she went to talk at the registration. We weren't sure if I had PANDAS, but it sounded awfully like it. She found a doctor here that's a PCP, and she tested me for it with the Cunningham panel. And that panel is very political in the medical field, which is dumb because there's been so many years of proof that it's, a good test. So we got that done, and it showed up that I was positive on strep and staph and, whatever else it's test for. It's multiple vials of just blood and tests. I can't tell you what all because it's just so many. And so all that came positive, plus my symptoms. And at this time, I developed like aggression too, like really bad aggression, which I'm the sweetest girl. You can ask anyone, and I'm so sweet. Like I would never hurt a fly. But like I just was still, not there. You could see my eyes dilated. Like there's no way that I was mom's daughter anymore. And so just with all those symptoms plus the tests, I was diagnosed with PANDAS and PANTS. I had both.
Okay, so they call it, so it's two different diagnoses because it came from staph and strep. So
Yes.
you essentially get these infections, even though you didn't quote unquote show symptoms or the classic symptoms. Did they basically cross the blood-brain barrier?
Yes.
And get into the brain? Is that what happens?
Yeah. So liver infection breaks through the blood-brain barrier and blends in as a brain cell. And then your body doesn't realize it until one day, and it starts attacking the brain cells, and that won't stop attacking it.
Because it's trying to protect you ultimately.
Yeah, it thinks your brain cells are still the infection.
That is wild.
Yeah.
So what happened after visiting the legislature in Houston?
Oh, so the legislation was here in Arkansas. The neurologist was in Houston.
Okay, got it. I missed. Yeah.
No, you're good. I can confuse people, so please.
You're doing great, Emma.
Yeah,
you're doing great. I'm tracking with you here.
So the neurologist in Houston, we brought up the PANDAS thing, and at the time he was not knowledgeable enough to deal with it. Plus, he said it was too complicated. Basically, I was born with apraxia.
What's
and
that?
so
Yeah, what is apraxia?
Apraxia is just when. So I don't know how to explain it. I'd have to Google it because I've just lived with it my whole entire life. I've never actually had to be like, oh, here's what it is. But what they think happens whenever a child is born with it is the child had a stroke in the mother's womb.
Okay.
And it caused oxygen. I'm really bad with describing it.
That's
with
okay.
With all the medical stuff I've had, like I haven't really focused on that.
Do you know how to spell it? APRAXIA, maybe?
Apraxia.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm very bad.
That's okay.
You're doing great. You're doing great. You didn't know you had it, right? And like you said, you didn't realize you had it. Apraxia definition. Let me see if that's what this is.
I knew that I had it before, like the PANDAS, like I was born with it. I just never really looked into it because I was like, it was normal.
Did you take any medications for that, or how did that show up for you at all? Any symptoms?
So the stuff that I had wasn't hitting those milestones in life. And so we had to do therapies. Like there's nothing you could do. It's like if a kid was born with autism, it's like that. Like you're just born with it.
So it's like developmental kind of issues along the way that you have to work to. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I've got Google here to help us. Apraxia, APRAXIA, is a neurological disorder characterized by the inability to perform learned, purposeful movements despite having the physical ability and understanding to do so. It's caused by damage to specific areas of the brain that control motor planning. Does that sound right?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you, Google.
Thank you, Google. Okay.
Okay, so that could have possibly played a role in the perfect storm that was the PANDAS panda
Yes.
diagnosis that ended up happening.
Yes, we definitely believe it caused me to be severe. So whenever we found the PANDAS doctor, PCP doctor here in Arkansas, she told us I was one of 800 kids that she sees, one of the most severe cases. And so that was really like challenging and hard to hear that, like, you know, I was a tough case.
Sure.
It's like, man, my body just wants to overdo it. You know, I gotta be the star of the show. And stuff. So that was definitely really hard.
I'd like to get maybe to how you began to heal yourself. You're obviously not seizing now. You're in control of your functions and, you know, in control of your faculties. How did you start to come out of this?
So my PANDAS PCP put me on high dose steroids because the way you treat PANDAS is like, so antibiotics, steroids are the go-to ones. And if you get better by that, like, great, you know, you go into remission. But if you're really severe, like I was, you would need antibiotics, steroids, IVIG.
What is IVIG?
It is basically they have a lot of different antibodies from other people, and like you may have to look that one up too.
But essentially it's antibodies that can help to...
Yeah, and they put it through an IV and they give it to you. And then for severe cases, like long-term cases, basically they do, you would need plasmapheresis. They take out all your blood, run it through a machine where it takes out your plasma and then puts it back in.
When did you start doing that therapy?
That was something I needed. Same thing with IVIG. But insurance is too much of a pain and would not pay for any of that. So we just had to do high-dose steroids for like a year, like more. And then we found a neurologist in New York City who prescribed me Lamictal for my seizures, and that kind of helped. He couldn't really do anything because of insurance and stuff. And it's just wild. So he did that, and then Mom found homeopathy medicine.
Did you notice a difference on that?
Yes, like big difference on that. That took us, so we started that in like 2021. So in 2021, that helped with the seizures and everything.
So from 2019 to 2021, you basically tried a bunch of things that didn't work.
Yeah. And even in 2021, like homeopathy didn't do everything. Sure. Like I was still bad. I have functional brain damage because of all the seizures and all that. Like, it caused multiple different issues.
Yeah.
And I'm still dealing with the effects of it.
Sure.
Like, I will 100% believe that if my doctor didn't put me on high steroids, I would have died, like, to get that inflammation down. And so I've been on steroids since like 2019. Thankfully, they're lowered now. And we did try low-dose IVIG. I was able to get that, but that caused psychotic episodes. And I felt like I was being tortured. Like,
and the IVIG, that's the antibodies.
Yes.
That's so weird because it seems like it would be like a more natural approach, right? That it would be.
Yeah. And like, the wild thing is that high dose IVIG is supposed to help you. And so if you don't get that high dose IVIG, then it just makes you worse.
So you weren't able to get enough.
No. And so it was very frustrating. And then
Well, before you go there, before you go
there, sorry.
Hold that thought. So IVIG, for those following along at home, intravenous immunoglobulin therapy involves administering a dose of antibodies from healthy donors through a vein to help strengthen the immune system. It's commonly used to treat immunodeficiency disorders and certain autoimmune conditions, providing protection against infections and reducing inflammation. So it makes sense that that's why they wanted to try IVIG with you. It's unfortunate. It sounds like it didn't. It kind of felt like it made things a little worse.
Yeah. So insurance wouldn't cover it for PANDAS, but I got diagnosed with CVID, which is like an immune deficiency. And so that's how I got like the low dose. But low dose, no go.
Yeah.
So you were like, well, maybe a little bit's better than none. Let's see if it works. And then you learned the hard way that if you don't get enough, it has the opposite effect, essentially.
Yeah. And so it's just wild.
Yeah.
To see that.
And CVID, since we're leaning a lot here on Dr. Google, common variable immunodeficiency is a genetic immune disorder characterized by low levels of antibodies, leading to frequent infections and increased risk of autoimmune diseases and certain cancers. It's typically diagnosed in adulthood and is managed with immunoglobulin replacement therapy, which is the IVID that we just talked about, or IVIG.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
we're
did
tracking.
try and come prepared.
No, that's okay.
This is great. We're learning. We're all learning. The whole audience is learning.
Yeah,
Ash and
it's
I are
such
learning.
a unique story.
This is great.
I mean,
Keep
and
rolling.
people need to hear it because there are a lot of people out there that are struggling with things that are going undiagnosed and that they're just feeling confused too. So your story gives people hope.
Yep, that's the whole point
And
of the podcast.
I was very like, no one had severe PANDAS like I did or what I felt like. And I couldn't really find anyone to relate to. So I'm really happy I get to share this.
Yeah. Okay, so after the failed attempt.
Well, but then there was the diagnosis of CVID.
Yes.
That allowed for what you were going to say, which
the low
is
dose.
The low dose of immunoglobulins.
Yes.
Which made things worse, doggone it. But at least insurance paid for it, Ash.
Yeah, right?
The positive.
All right, so what was your next move?
So the next move was just kind of sit still with, homeopathy, Lamictal. I did get on an anxiety medication, which I will have to warn other panda survivors and stuff, warriors, and their parents that if you don't have a psychiatrist that knows what they're doing, the psychiatric medications will make things worse, like 10 times worse. It will aggravate it.
Okay.
What medication were you on? What anti-anxiety? Do you remember?
Right now, I'm on amantadine and Zoloft.
Okay.
And it's like, I've tried a couple different things, but it just completely wrecked me. And a lot of other other people that I see on Facebook that have PANDAS, it also does that to them. And so, like, to the newer people, I feel like they just need to be aware of, like, you know, maybe find a psychiatrist who knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Be very careful with that.
Yeah. And because not only that, but they take away children who have this. Like, they thought my mom was abusing me.
Yeah. Child Protective Services seems like.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Ugh.
We were so blessed. Like, I cannot tell you how we're so blessed that no one actually did that for me, because, you know, I was really aggressive. Like, I was just so bad. And then I'd have really aggressive modes too. Like, my mom thought she was going to have to put me in a psych ward because I was just going great, like, nuts. She didn't know how to handle me. And that went on from, like, 2019 to, like, 2023 maybe?
Wow.
Like, so the homeopathy medications did help. The steroids did help. The Lamictal and stuff, but it was just not enough. My body was too inflamed. And so it was really, like, bad still, but I got to a place where I could go to, like, school for half days a little bit, still having a little bit of, like, psych issues and stuff, but that was more at home. That wasn't really in public. There's science behind that, like why kids act a certain way with their parents, like mom, versus with people, other people. And then I got COVID. I swear I could rant about how I got that, but I'm not going to. I was so mad.
That'll be its own episode.
Yes. Because COVID started these new episodes of seizures. So I've had every single type of seizures you could imagine, except I guess one. My head and my body would just collapse, completely collapse. And that also started like other like issues as well. Like I started going backwards again. And so we really just, you know, mom was giving up. I was rock bottom. Like we were both rock bottom. Like we just didn't know what to do anymore. And then 2025, we found something. It's called TrueDose, PRP. And
TrueDose.
it's through so it's lowercase TRU and then capital dose.
TrueDose PRP. Is that prolotherapy?
Therapy. Mm-hmm. Well,
It's
or is it
platelet.
plasma?
It's platelet something
I'll look it up.
therapy. Yeah.
Dr. Google.
I promise you, I tried to come prepared, okay?
You are
It's just
prepared.
so
Fantastic.
Emma, you're prepared because you lived this story.
Yeah, you don't need to prepare.
Yes.
No, that's why we're here to help guide through. We can look things up on Google like I'm doing right now. TrueDose.com.
How did you hear about this therapy? Do you remember?
Mom
Personalized
found it on
platelet. I'm sorry to interrupt. Emma.
All right,
No,
let's hear
you're
what it
good.
is, Patrick.
Personalized platelet therapy. Interesting. Okay.
Okay, Mom found it on Facebook, probably in a group.
Yes. Yeah. So she found it on Facebook, and there's science behind it. So basically, there's two different types of PRPs. One is TrueDose, and the other is your regular PRP. And the regular one, they inject into a certain place in your body, and your body like heals it. So like they take out blood, take out the platelets and inject it to a certain spot.
Right.
TrueDose, the one I'm doing, they take out my platelets and they put through like an AI machine thingy majigger, and
Is that the technical term?
Yeah, technical stuff.
Technical-ish.
Yes. And they so they take all those out, put through a machine, and it calculates how much my body needs to help heal itself. Because right now, like, my body's kind of like not able to make enough platelets for what's gone through. And so anyways, they calculate how much it is and they put back in me. And then my body picks and chooses what it needs to heal. And normally it picks like the brain, the heart, like stuff like that. And it's not just targets like PANDAS. It can help with like the creator, I think, did it for his son with autism. And it's helping him. It's like helping all these things.
Wow. How old, like when did this therapy become available? Do you know?
I'm trying to think. I feel like 2018.
So it's pretty new.
Yeah, it's pretty new, but the science behind TrueDose, like the regular PRP, has been out there for a long time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So this was just kind of more like they're letting your body choose instead of just like injecting it into a bone and
so
then being
it's
like,
intravenous.
bro. Yeah, it's intravenous.
Let me read from the website on TrueDose.com, which is how you spelled it, TruDose. Your body knows how to heal. We help it do the work. TrueDose uses your own blood to create a personalized platelet treatment designed just for you. No two bodies are the same, so we don't guess, we measure. Our therapy targets inflammation, resets your immune system, and activates your body's natural healing process. Whether you're facing a chronic condition, recovering from illness, or supporting a loved one, TrueDose offers a science-backed path to real healing. That sounds very interesting. TrueDose is not a sponsor, and I didn't know we were going to talk about them today, but this seems very fascinating. So, Emma, how many treatments did you do? And of course, we were talking about insurance. I don't imagine insurance probably pays for this.
Nope.
No, it sure doesn't.
Not all.
Unfortunately.
Which is so stupid.
Yeah.
But I'm also kind of happy because I feel like as soon as insurance get involved and like FDA and stuff get involved, boy, it's not going to be as great anymore. So far I've had 2. One, you're supposed to get every, I think 4 months or so. So what my doctor's having me do. And I will tell you, after the first one, I felt for the first time back to normal.
Wow.
Or almost normal. I was able to do speech again. Like, I need speech, OT, PT, all that. I was able to do speech again. Like, we saw all these improvements. And then in October, or like my second one, which was in October, after that one, we didn't see as much progress, which is normal apparently, but I was able to ride a bike for the first time in 7 years.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
I do say I did hurt my shoulder. I was gripping on too hard to the handlebar, and I almost hit a pole. And maybe a few cars.
Well, we're sure glad you didn't.
Me too. But I did it, which wouldn't have been possible. Like, we're still seeing things. Like, I'm able to add PT. I'm able to do PT twice a week. I'm adding OT on, which all these things wouldn't have been possible before.
What is OT
on? Occupational therapy.
She's adding it
you're
on.
added OT, occupational therapy on. Got it.
Yeah.
Can I just
On
ask
to
really
my-
quickly, after your very first treatment, which was it June?
Yeah. I think
June of
so.
2025. So like
June, yes.
7-8 months ago.
Right. How long did it take for you to start feeling different? Was it literally immediate, or did it take a few days, couple weeks?
No, it took a few weeks. Right after the dose, you can see a little bit of a flare because I guess like it stirs things up a little bit. And so I did have like a seizure, and that was it really for that flare. And then they do make you do 2 things before the PRP, get your body like ready, because we want it to heal what needs to heal and nothing extra.
Right.
So like for me, if I get a cold, we're going to have to reschedule the PRP because we don't want it to focus on the cold.
Right.
We want it to focus on X, Y, and Z. And so that was really it. And then after the second PRP in October, I was seizure-free for 3 months.
How long had you gone prior to getting this treatment without a seizure?
I don't really know. I think I was having them at least once a day or so.
So 3 months, no seizures is huge.
Yes. Sadly, I had a seizure on Sunday, but it wasn't real long or anything big like that. We don't really know what caused that, but on Monday, we had an appointment with my PRP, like TrueDose doctor, and she was like, okay, I think it's time for us to do another PRP treatment. So we're going to just schedule you out. So like, I don't really know why we had one, but 3 months was the longest, like one of the longest times.
That's so encouraging.
Yeah. It was also a little disappointing that I did have a seizure, but it was also really exciting that I could get to the point. And this treatment is also like once something is healed, unless there's like strep triggers me to get this way again, like that healing is supposed to stay.
Right. So it's not like this is something you got to do every 4 months for the rest of your life. This is like your body healing itself with the assistance of this PRP treatment.
Yes. And my mom has lupus, and she was able to get 1 dose of it, and it's helped her a lot too.
That's amazing.
And that's one of the reasons, like, it costs a lot of money to do it. Like, I think 15,000
Per
which
time?
is cheap. Yeah.
Wow.
Which is cheaper than most treatments, I feel like, but still pretty expensive. And then the place we go to, like, you have to kind of subscribe to their office, which is also expensive. And then, like, they want you to do, like, an infusion before it and take a supplement before it too. And which I'm happy about because if, it's going to help, like, sure. Which is weird for me to say. I hate needles. Absolutely despise them.
I don't know anybody who likes needles. I mean,
Nope.
We do it because we have to, but I look away every time.
I try to. I'm a big baby. Like, I tear up crocodile tears, dude. But, like, so all that, like, adds up as well. But it's worth it. And we've kind of been blessed with, everything. We have to travel out of state too. So it's just a lot of, money. But if you have the money, or if you can pull together the money, it's, like, worth it.
Like, it's giving you your life back.
Yeah. And there's actually hope of, like, healing now. And, like, I would rather spend money on vacations, but, like, I just can't imagine how many vacations that I could do and enjoy.
Right.
with it. That's one of the reasons why I couldn't like visit y'all. Like we just or spend money on TrueDose.
You know what? Spend the money on the TrueDose and we can just use technology, right?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And I'm supposed to get we are at least going to get 3 done. Maybe 4.
And
we want to do 3 because of money, but I was just so severe. I think 4 is gonna be it.
And you'll do all 3 this coming year in 2026?
So I did 2 already. So my 3rd one is February, and then if I did a 4th one, it would be sometime this year.
So the doctors feel hopeful that they'll be able to get you ship shape with 3 or 4 treatments.
Yeah. So this doctor thinks I'll get a lot of healing. I think maybe she would want me to do more, but from the stuff we've seen on like Facebook and other people's experience, it seems like 4 has been the most that people have like seen, and like we would maybe do more than 4 if money wasn't like the option, if I really had to.
Money was no object. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go and clarify one question. You mentioned homeopathy a couple times. Are you still using those? And do you know which homeopathy pills you're taking?
I do not know. I go through a doctor, which is also out of pocket.
Of course.
It's all out of pocket. Yeah.
But I have been able to not take not have to do it as often with dosing. So I was able to, I think, go a week without needing it, which is more.
And is the goal with your PRP doctor that these treatments will eventually get you off all medications?
Yes. I'm already off of 1 medication, and I'm trying to lower steroids. So I'm like, want to get off of them completely, but I don't feel like my body can do that quite yet. Mm-hmm. So I'm just doing every other day with half pill, full pill, half pill, full pill, until I feel, and I'll talk to her about it as well. My PCP, my PANDAS doctor, she can see a difference too. Like she said, I look different. Like I looked older. I was like, wow, thanks.
Oh,
that probably
like,
felt
actually,
really good.
That's one of my goals.
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, I feel happy about it, but I'm also like, how much older?
You're funny.
I'm like, because I got sick at 14, and so I feel like I've literally just woke up at the same age, even though I'm 21.
Right.
But like, yeah, it kind of felt nice that, she could see it because she's been with me through like thick and thin. And then I'm gonna try and see my New York neurologist in March, I think, which he's also out of pocket. But he's been through thick and thin too, and he hasn't seen me since the PRP. So I'd be interested in seeing how,
yes.
What his thoughts.
I'm curious if we could go way back to before the seizures, before the symptoms. Was there any triggers that you can think of? I jokingly, brought up a math test, but was there any kind of big things that happened in your life right before?
Like stressors?
No, I was just pretty much a normal 14-year-old kid. I love dogs. I was biking everywhere. Like I would go to school, be in the drama class. Like I just got onto the competition team, like dancing every day. I was on the worship team at church, like nothing really huge. School was a little bit stressed out because of math, like was really tough, and I was wanting to switch to the special education class, but like that teacher kind of talked us out of it. And so, but other than like math, like nothing.
I mean, the condition that you were born with was probably just an ongoing stressor on your body. It has been an ongoing stressor on your body since you were born. So it's like your body's always having to work extra hard anyway. So it kind of makes you a little bit more vulnerable to a situation like this, where it's like all of a sudden the cascade of events, right?
Yeah, I 100% believe that I probably got more severe than I feel like most people do with this illness because of the apraxia.
Yeah.
One thing that was kind of frustrating to me was I finally graduated from all my therapies, and then I like had to go back and do them again. I felt very offended. I've been in therapies all my life, basically. And then I like got a few months of no therapies. And then back. Yeah, which I'm fine with. I love people,
Good.
I'm a people person.
It sounds like you do a very good job at looking at the positive side and the bright side. And I'm sure that that's a big factor as to why you're sitting here today.
100%.
My, one of the things that I was doing whenever I couldn't remember anyone really was sitting down and just saying over and over, I'm like, God loves me. I love him. Like, I'm a very faith-based person. And I feel like sometimes mom kind of wanted me or like wanted to hit me with a pillow because I wouldn't stop saying like, how like, just being so positive and like being like God has a plan for me. And she kind of, I think, maybe struggled a little bit with, the faith.
Sure.
I can't really speak for her, but that's just like, I feel like, because her daughter just like almost died. Like she is finally seeing me come back with the TrueDose, but like,
your mom would probably be an excellent guest for the podcast because she's been through it.
She's definitely been the advocate. She's threatened to sue some doctors.
She's seen it all and lived it all, right? I sure hope that you're considering at some point writing a book about your journey.
I am actually.
And in fact, Ashley, that's one of the questions that we like to ask all of our guests. Emma, if you wrote a book about it, what would the title of that book be?
Unknown known hacker.
Unknown known hacker.
Yeah, because that's how it feels like. It feels like I got hacked by strep and, I couldn't get out of my body. I would yell and scream at mom, and inside I would be like, no, I love you. And outside it would be like, I hate you, what, like, leave me alone, like, and all these hurtful things to everyone around me. And it's like, no, I love you. Like, I'm trying to say that I love you, and nothing, like, my body was doing all these things that I didn't want to do. Like, none of the things that, seizures, all that stuff, like, none of that was me. None. Like,
it's like you were hijacked. Your whole operating system was hijacked.
By a hacker.
Yes. Yeah. And that's how a lot of kids feel. Like, a lot of people with this feels like they've been hijacked. And so that's why I thought that was the best definition. Sense. And some parents don't understand that. And it's really sad.
It is sad.
Well, Emma, at your lowest low, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, when you were at your rock bottom podcast, what was your number?
Podcast.
When you were at your rock bottom, what was your number?
Like -1.
Okay.
Like all the lowest of the low.
The rock bottomy of the rock bottomest.
Below the rock.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
nowadays, about where are you on that same scale?
I think probably like a 7, but it's coming up slowly but surely. It's rising.
But Emma, that's a
Instead
good
of-
number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
like a
starting
I
to
can enjoy my life number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm finally starting to actually be able to enjoy my life and not be trapped
Yeah.
or anything.
Okay, Ash, now you can close the show.
Well, I'm curious where people can find you because I, of course, would love to follow your journey. I'm so excited to see where you go in this life. I know you're going to do amazing things. And where can everyone find you?
I'm gonna have to look at my memory. That's one of my worst things that's really sucked was my memory. But people can go follow me at Emma Horn 4616.
And we will also put that in the show notes. So Emma Horn 4616. I'm already following you.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
You've got big things to do in this life, Emma. You know inside of you already. That is why God loves you, because he's expecting big things from you. And I think that today was a big step for that. And we're very honored to have you courageously share your story with us today. You did wonderful.
Thank
I
you.
think that the audience is really going to be very appreciative.
Thank you. I definitely, during the worst of the worst, where I can't remember anything, I remembered Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans for you, says the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you hope in a future. And that's what I've been holding on to.
amen. That is
Amen.
so good. That is absolutely perfect.
Thanks
you
for being on the
sharing
show.
that. Bye,
Thank
Emma.
you guys for having me.
This episode of the Rock Bottom Podcast is brought to you by Jigsaw Health, a family-owned, Arizona-based nutritional supplement company. Every formula is made with clean ingredients that are third-party tested to ensure that what's on the label is in the bottle and nothing else. Learn more at jigsawhealth.com.
Do you have a health horror story? We're always looking for stories that will inspire others. So please use the link in the description to apply to be on our show. Finally, if this episode resonated with you, then please like and subscribe. It really helps others to find our show, and we want to help spread the word. New episodes drop every other Wednesday. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next show.